It's Watchout Radio, WUSB. I'm Peter A. We got a special guest with us tonight. Sayonne is here. How we doing?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you for inviting me tonight.
Yeah. I think you were the right guest.
Yes.
For tonight. I think everything kind of fell into place.
Oh,
got
so
the new
gracious.
single out. I started the show here. Let's bring Sayonne here.
That's right. Ready to catch a wine.
Yes. So I want to start with the very beginning.
Yes.
Of your musical performance journey. When you were 12, you did a gospel album, right?
That is right.
And you worked with a lot of songwriters. So I want to know what you learned from that early experience in the music biz, so to speak.
From that early experience, I would say that I learned a lot of discipline. I learned how to manage time. I learned how to, of course, develop my skills as a musician, a writer, a singer in the business, because I'm around people who do this for a living. So I just developed a lot of skills to help me use that in the recording sessions that I'm doing now, and the writing sessions that I'm doing now, the performances I'm doing now. And it's been great. It's been great.
So as far as the discipline,
Yes.
You at a young age, preteen.
Mm-hmm.
What were like your sort of order of operations during that time when you were putting together that first album?
Well, of course, school was number one.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are big on education. And from school, it would be do your homework, and then we'll get to rehearsals. Or I would be in a session for whether it be I would go to Alvin and Ellie for dance, or I would go to a private voice lesson or a private piano lesson. Just things to keep me active and developing, constantly developing as a young teenager, well, preteen, growing up into teenage adulthood.
But like at that time,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of not like a career profession. It's more like extracurricular.
It's like a hobby at that time, because you don't
Right.
know that this is necessarily what you want to do. Because sometimes a lot of kids say, hey, I want to be a singer, I want to be a basketball player, or
Right.
a fireman, a policeman. And you're dabbling into all these different areas. You're not really sure this is what you want to do. But for me, I want to say that probably around the age of 3,
Wow.
Yeah, I will go that far back. I was pretty determined that this would be my life.
I was thinking about cartoons at age 3. I was not thinking about...
No, not me.
And when some people say, oh, I want to be a singer, it's kind of like, oh, down the road. But you kind of just, let me just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Because the thing about music and singing and writing, it was just the only thing for me that helped me express myself genuinely. And that's how I knew it was for me. It was my path, and I've continued to on.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad your family kind of helped you exercise that muscle
Yes.
at such a young age. And
Yes.
look where you are now. You kind of have a big resume already, and you're just at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about your family imprint, your label of sorts, 5 Bar Records, Inc.
Yes.
Talk to me about the genesis of this.
5 Bar Records. 5 Bar Records was birthed a few years ago when I was still doing gospel music and still traveling and performing and getting myself out there under the name of Stephanie Courtney. And at that time, it was just time for myself and my family to birth something with longevity. And that birth was 5 Bar Records, where we have ownership of our own music. We're in the creative side of things. So that's why 5 Bar Records came about.
So with this kind of imprint, like you said, you're starting with creatives. How do we get this music
Yes.
to sound good? As far as the business end of it, are you looking for distribution from a bigger company, or are you just kind of going the DIY route?
Right now it's somewhat on the DIY route, but of course, when things take off on another level, with IamSayonne.com, I'm going to be looking into the business side further with 5 Bar Records.
But that's great that you're focusing on the music. Just make sure the music
right
is
now
right.
it's kind of busy trying to record and write. I don't really have enough time to mentally dabble with the 5 Bar Records business side, but I am in there. So I do have a team helping me, but my primarily focus is the music and recording and making sure that it's out there and everyone gets to hear it and love it and dance.
I feel like with my family, when we get creative in certain endeavors, we're all very different. So when starting something with your family,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that's the best option? Because some people say, "Oh, don't mix business with blood." And do you feel that way at all, or no?
Well, I'm not going to say that there's a best option when it comes to business, because there's no one who will care about you the way your family cares about you. So, yes, it may be difficult at times having to work with your family and you fight and you still have to go home and live with them. But it's like a marriage, but it works out. So I want to say that mixing business with pleasure and incorporating the family is the best route for me, because it works and I'm comfortable with my family traveling everywhere with me and being my backbone. And I don't think I would be as comfortable if it was someone else or a stranger. But, I'm open to options. But it's definitely great for me to have a family who's grounding me.
Yes. So with 5 Bar Records, you have your own music.
Yes.
But are you looking for other artists to quote unquote sign right now, or no?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Yeah.
Is there like a specific sound that you look for, or are you just kind of open to whatever talent is out there in general?
I would want to say I'm open to whatever talent is out there, because thinking back or looking back when I started my career as a singer, I was never a one style, one track, one genre type of artist or singer or musician. I've always dabbled in different genres, and it still stands today. Like, if you hear some of my music, like 21, Catch This Whine, Ignited, which is going to be released soon, it's a different feel. Like, it's gonna please different ears, because not everyone likes the same type of music. Some people like trap music, some people like gospel, some people like musical theater. So not everyone is going to have the same feel listening to all these different songs, but there is something for everyone.
But when you started this label, was there a goal like, okay, we're going to put out this kind of music, we're going to do this specific thing and focus on that?
No, honestly, when I started the label, it was just, hey, let's sit down in a recording studio and vibe out to whatever we feel. Let's play this piano, let's play this guitar, and whatever comes out naturally is what the sound will be. It was never, okay, we want this specific trap sound. It was never predetermined.
So with your music now, when you were young, you worked with a lot of songwriters because you're young, you don't really know.
Yeah, of
but
course.
Now that you're a lot more seasoned, are you still open to working with other songwriters, or you just kind of want to hammer it out yourself?
Well, now that I'm a little bit more seasoned, I'm still open to working with other writers, because working with other writers, you get a different feel of whether their emotions touch some other people with the music and stuff. So sometimes it's like Adele, where most of her music is sad, but it works for a lot of people. It's the same thing. I don't want my music to always just be one tone. I want versatility, so I'm very open to collaborating with other writers or other musicians and producers, engineers.
Do you have anyone specific in mind that you would want to work with?
Anyone specifically in mind right now? Well, right now, I'm really feeling Ella Mai.
I love her.
Her music. It's like the new craze right now. So I would definitely love to collaborate with her on a song, or even have you heard of the artist Jacquees? Jacquees? No. He remixed her song, so someone like that, or even Drake, because he's just all over the place, and especially with the Kiki song, In My Feelings. That is it for me. I dance to that, and I sing it, and everyone else is singing it and dancing it. So I would love to work with artists like that, who they have their deep songs, but then they have the songs that make people want to dance and laugh and do challenges and things like that.
Yeah, I kind of like this side of you, this Catch This Whine kind of feel. It has a very party, balanced flavor to it. And I think you and Drake will kind of come together on that perfectly, I feel.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I had to put my little Caribbean flair in there, because my family is from Trinidad and Tobago. So.
You got to know your roots. Yes.
Right. So
you got to go back to your roots.
Got to impress the family a little bit.
Yeah. Because I bet, when you started doing your own stuff, there was probably like, oh, why are you doing that? It's probably a little too, you know what I mean? But you kind of want to keep a certain flavor of tradition, right?
Get the fusion in there, and like make them happy, but then keep it current.
Yeah.
With today's kids.
You don't want to get too obscure and experimental, right? Even though I bet you have some kind of oddities.
I definitely do. But at least this one makes them happy. So.
Yes. So you're not just a singer, a musician. You're an actor as well.
Yes, I am.
And you've done a lot of off-Broadway stuff with Ragtime and Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
What are some of your biggest takeaways from doing theater?
My biggest takeaway from doing theater is building stamina. Because a lot of artists today, I feel like theater is the best training for an artist and even actor, because you're doing 7 shows, 8 shows, whatever the case may be, 8 shows 7 days a week, or 5 shows, and some days you have 2 shows. You'll have a matinee show and then you have a night show, like a 2 p.m. and an 8 p.m. and it can be very exhausting and stressful on the body. So you have to learn how to, 1, take care of your body in the best way, 2, have great stamina, 3, learn your material and always be on point, learn how to warm up yourself, and just a lot of skills that you need as an artist. So it was very helpful for me starting in the gospel world and then venturing into theater and acting and performing, and then venturing into solely an artist. And I learned so much with the theater shows that I've done, because even when I was performing as just a regular artist in my concerts and stuff, I never really had the full stamina I needed to push through all the time and not be tired at the end of the show. But after doing theatrical shows and matinees and all of that jazz, I was like, oh my gosh, well, this is it. I'm ready. I can do like 2 hours, 3 hours running in heels, and it's almost like a Beyonce factor. So it's a great preparation for artists performing and traveling, and it's like the best school.
Sayonne's here, Watchout Radio, WUSB. So how do you build stamina in the theater sense? In
a theater sense, it's really about performing to the best of your ability, and not being tired on stage, if that makes any sense. So, like when you're singing and dancing, some people sing and dance and you can tell that they're tired, but after doing it a few times, or preparing yourself, let's say you go to the gym and you run on a treadmill and you're singing while you're running on the treadmill, that's building stamina, and you take that with you on stage. So when you're performing and you're dancing from stage left to stage right, you're not tired and you're able to entertain to the fullest of your ability.
So going back to discipline, which you've learned at an early age, when you get off of rehearsal for music, for a show, what do you eat and when do you work out? And how does that all come together for you?
That is hard. Okay, so I actually came from a rehearsal straight here to the radio station, and what I ate on my way was, I cheated today.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I did cheat today. I had a Shake Shack.
Because I need help. I need help too. I'm trying to learn.
Mostly I do eat salads. I eat pretty healthy. Like on and off, I'm a vegetarian. Semi-vegan, but not today. I had chicken, so I had a chicken sandwich from Shake Shack.
That's cheating for you, chicken?
That was cheating. Yes. Wow. The thing is, because meat, it weighs you down.
Yes.
And some people don't realize it is heavy on the body. So I'm not as light on my feet, or I don't have the endurance that I need. People say, "Oh, meat, protein." Not for me. Not for me. So salads, fruits, water fruits like watermelon. I like to go to the gym at least 4 days a week if possible, or if I can't
4 days?
At least 4.
I can barely squeeze in 2.
At least 4.
Oh my God.
4 days, 2 hours.
What's the workout?
The workout is a lot of cardio. Lots and lots of cardio. I'll do lunges, push-ups, squats, things like that, jumps, burpees, running on the treadmill, of course, for about at least 10 minutes, getting my heart rate up, and maybe hum. If not a lot of people are there, I'll sing. Just trying to get the stamina built up, so that way when I do transition into rehearsal and I have to dance and sing, I'm not exhausted and I can sing fully to the best of my ability with my vocals not being tired.
I think that's great. And, without no context, some people might think you're trying to be a wrestler or a boxer or something like that.
Yeah, they might think I'm trying to be an athlete.
Yeah,
but the thing
that's
is,
crazy.
you just really need it because it really helps you push through the days, getting that extra boost from working out. It really does.
Do
it
you
works
do coffee, Red Bulls?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
So how do you keep the energy?
I drink a lot of water.
Okay.
I do a lot of tea. Like I'll do throat coat, or I'll do a honey ginger tea or peppermint green tea. Green tea especially, no sugar.
Yes,
sugar takes
absolutely.
me in a whole nother level. So I don't do coffee. I don't do any energy drinks because my energy is already off the roof. People think that I'm on coffee all the time, but that's not the case. It's just water. But yeah, just a lot of water and fruits and just clean eating. Clean eating.
So you started in church.
Yes.
So I bet when people come up to you and the conversation about music starts and you say, "Oh, I make my own music," do they automatically assume you make gospel music or what? What's that conversation like?
Well, it depends. It depends the setting. It depends where they meet me. If I'm at a like, let's say the Cotton Club and I'm performing, they wouldn't necessarily associate me to church because it's more like a nightclub scene. So they'll say, "Oh, okay, she's an artist," and of course maybe R&B or maybe pop. But now if someone meets me at church and they see me sing, they're like, "Oh, okay, so you're recording. Must be gospel music." But I can't say that I've done gospel music before, so it's out there, and whether they want to think that I'm still a gospel artist or not, I am Sayonne.
There you go. That's it.
The artist. That's it.
Because you could be in a punk band, and we don't know.
I could be. You never know what's coming.
You know what? I kind of have believed that because I just never know with you.
You never know. I may be rapping on a track. You never know.
Look out for Sayonne. You have no idea what's going to come. So as far as theater and music, what's your main focus now?
Well, as of this year, my main focus has been music. I did my last contract about last year. Well, the end of last year, I did Sister Act. And after doing that show, I made the decision to put my all into Sayonne, the artist, the recording artist, writing, producing, and getting things out there. So I am a full-time artist.
There we go. And speaking of which, Catch This Whine is out now everywhere.
Catch This Whine.
It has a dance hall soca vibe. Is that right?
Yes.
So I'm assuming you're gonna have like an EP or an album, right?
Yeah.
So are you leaning, because you just said you're very versatile? Are you gonna have more or a lot more of dance hall, or is there any other styles you're trying to touch?
Ooh, it's going to be a surprise.
Okay.
Because I have some things. I have a few things coming out. Ignited will be coming out soon. 21 is already out, but anyone who's listening, check me out at the Panama Day Parade, October 6th.
Right. Tell me about that. What's going on out there?
October 6th, this in Brooklyn, the Panama Day Parade on Franklin Ave and Bergen Street. Sayonne, I'll be there. Catch me on the float. I'll also be performing on the stage.
On a float?
On a float.
Oh,
yes,
man.
on a float. I'll be waving to the crowd, dancing with you all. And around a little after 6 p.m. That night, October 6th, I'll be performing my 2 songs, 21 and Catch This Whine. So you'll get to see me catch this wine and maybe rap or two to 21.
Okay, Sayonne is here. Twitter, Instagram, where can people follow you?
I am Sayonne. IamSayonne.com. Check me out on my website. Instagram at I am Sayonne. That's IamSayonne. That's I am Sayonne. Everything is I am Sayonne. I am Sayonne. IamSayonne.